Okay, here's a quick reality check for you. That high sleep score on your tracker, it doesn't always mean you're getting high quality recovery. Yeah, pretty surprising, right? We're going to break down exactly why. Welcome to Sleeppedia, a corner of the internet dedicated to the science of sleep and circadian rhythms. For years now, we've been kind of obsessed with tracking our sleep, waking up, grabbing our phones, and checking that number. But the latest science is really pushing us to think beyond the score, towards something way more powerful. So let's dive into what that actually means. Is your sleep score telling you the whole truth? Well, a lot of the time, the answer is no. See, while your watch is pretty good at measuring things like movement and heart rate, it can completely miss the deep, restorative cellular housekeeping that's supposed to be happening inside your brain. And this is where things get really interesting. We're seeing a huge shift in thinking here. We're moving away from just tracking our sleep, which is basically just watching what happens, to actively aligning it. And that's all about fixing the timing and improving the quality of our sleep. It's the difference between, knowing you have a flat tire and actually having the tools to fix it. So what do these new tools even look like? Well, let's start with a really cool solution for one of the most common sleep disruptors out there, obstructive sleep apnea. Now, if you or someone you love has sleep apnea, you know all about the CPAP machine. It's the gold standard treatment, and it works. But man, it's also bulky, it's noisy, it can be really uncomfortable. So many people end up with what's called CPAP fatigue, and they just stop using it. And that leaves their condition untreated, which is a massive problem. But check this out. It's a device called MAGNAP, and the best way to think about it is like an invisible brace for your airway. It's so clever. Here's how it works. First, a tiny, dime-sized magnet is surgically attached to the hyoid bone in your neck. That's a key bone that helps support your tongue and airway. Then, when you go to bed, you wear a simple, comfortable neck brace that has a second, stronger magnet in it. The two magnets attract each other, and that gentle pull is just enough to pull the base of the tongue forward and physically hold the airway open all night long. It's just a simple, elegant mechanical solution. So, what makes this a potential breakthrough? Well, for starters, unlike a lot of other implants, this system is totally battery-free. That means it's a much lower maintenance option. And because it's a purely mechanical fix, there's no drugged feeling or brain fog in the morning. It's a total game changer, especially for those folks who just can't get on with a CPAP. But hey, an open airway is only one piece of the puzzle, right? What if the problem isn't physical, but it's all in your head? Let's talk about another huge struggle, insomnia. That awful, frustrating feeling when you are so tired, but your brain just refuses to shut off. Oh, we have all been there. Your head hits the pillow, and all of a sudden your brain decides it's the perfect time to play a highlight reel of every single worry, every item on your to-do list, every dumb thing you said 5 years ago. This isn't just you overthinking, it's a real physiological thing that's happening. Believe it or not, there's a scientific term for this, frontal cortex hypermetabolism. Now, that sounds complicated, but in simple terms, it just means the executive part of your brain, the prefrontal cortex, right there behind your forehead, is literally running too hot. It's staying way too active when it's supposed to be powering down for the night. So how do you cool down a hot brain? Well, the solution that's being tested is surprisingly direct. It's a wearable device that gently circulates a precisely cooled fluid right across your forehead. This literally lowers that metabolic activity. It's like it's shushing those racing thoughts and letting your brain's natural sleep-wake switch finally do its job. Now for a third innovation. This one also tackles insomnia, but from a totally different angle. Not with temperature, but with chemistry. For decades, sleeping pills have kind of been like taking a sledgehammer to the problem. But this new approach, it's so much more precise.
Old medications were like slamming on the brakes of your car. They just forced the brain to shut down, which is why they often left you feeling so groggy. These new meds, called DORAs, are completely different. They're like gently taking your foot off the gas pedal. They don't force you to sleep. They just turn off the brain's wakefulness signal, which is controlled by a chemical called orexin.
And the results from this are just incredible. The most recent clinical trials showed that this approach doesn't just help you fall asleep more naturally. Get this, it actually improves your alertness and your cognitive function the entire next day, a full 12 to 16 hours after you take it. It's not just fixing your sleep, it's optimizing your waking hours too. So we've got magnets for breathing, a cooling system for the brain, and a chemical switch for wakefulness. On the surface, they seem totally unrelated, right? But they all point to one single powerful idea about the future of sleep. It's all about alignment. Instead of a one-size-fits-all sledgehammer, we are entering this new era of truly personalized sleep medicine.